This is Damon, the Global Gardener. What does my truck have to do with global gardening? Good question. I am going on a road trip around the United States and crafted a bed situation. So I wanted to introduce you to it. It's like, a little bit convertible because it's got to be convenient. But you can see storage underneath, shoes and stove and things, and then removable, so that you could use this as a tailgate piece. There was actually an extra piece it was just one sheet of plywood across there that I had cut at Home Depot. They do very nice solid cuts, very clean and straight with their saw. It makes it very easy to do this, but you can use the extra piece for the tailgate if you wanted, but I wanted a little bit more room because I'm 5'10" to that little half-inch of stretching out. But I saw a lot of different videos on like the ultimate truck bed, the camper bed, and it had like pull-out drawers and like all this crazy stuff. I just wanted a basic platform that I could maybe put a few things under. A motorcycle going by. So what I created was sort of an X-Man shape where it was X going across because there's boards in. I kept the truck liner in. There's a pocket on each side, a slot where a 2x4 fits perfectly. So I measured that out, 54 inches. You have to cut off the little bottom corner because then it'll wedge in there perfectly. But that is, here I'll bring this out so I can show you better. Take out the stove. Kitchen area. There's two of these. This one goes across in the back, there's one in the front. And then I figured the X would sit on there perfectly and be a support as a sort of minimalistic adventure in not having to do a bunch of crazy construction. I ended up having to do more construction because it wasn't quite tall enough, so I had to put these 1x2s on the top and screw those in so that they weren't scraping the plywood and it'd be smooth. I put some joist hangers to hold up the braces. I just used the extra 2x4 pieces that I cut off because these were 87.5 going all the way across. I put a notch in each one so they would join together and fit together. Then I put the 1x2s on top to raise everything up because I tried cutting out the wheel wells so the plywood would go down. It didn't quite go down far enough. So now it's perfect though. It's the perfect height and structurally sound because I didn't put this in originally, but once I put the plywood across there and you go to step on it, whoop, actually same with the cross beam also, so I had to really do that. And so I just ended up putting that all the way across, down the middle, all the way through. You can hear my my curtains. I have curtain rods. I put in certain hardware. I took out the screws of the camper shell that holds the window, and I put other pieces in there. But anyway, so I did that one-handed backwards. I did a 15-inch piece in the front of plywood so that I could also lift that up. So come on inside and I'll show you closer up what's going on here. Here's the hanger bit. There's the plywood going up. You can see back there and the second cross piece that wedges into the here's my designs. Upside down. And but you can see the 2x4 wedges into it's really solid, so it's not going to slide back and forth. That's also what I did with the plywood, was to make sure that it was exactly the size so it wouldn't be moving around or sliding, that once the tailgate is shut it is solid, stuck together. Had to nip the corners out so that it would fit in the corner, otherwise it was too square, the plywood. So yeah, so that piece is 15-inch up there. So because that's a good amount of space. I could notch in a handhold to pick that up easier, but I just plan on putting a mattress topper on here that I'll show you in another video once I get it. But I just finished this, so I wanted to share my excitement going on the road. And the curtain situation, I got a little crafty with that. I took out the screw and got these straps and then an eye bolt. So on this side, the eye bolt will hold the curtain, and also the lower one. Boing! It won't make that noise when it actually has curtains in it, but yeah, just the nut on the back, and that holds that in there. And I had to, they weren't exactly perfect. Like I would find one matching hole, and then I would have to drill through the strap to match up the existing hole for that. But then I have those on both sides so that I'll get some blackout material and be able to cover that 99.9% light blockage so that I can have rest anytime I want it in the back here. So that is my setup for the camper construction bed. It's hard to know actually what to call it because it's like not really camping, and it's not really van life, but it is a little bit. But it's a unique custom wood situation. So it was fun. There were some interesting cuts. I have a series of pictures and another rendition of a video that I'll orate the construction process. But that's it for the truck bed construction. All right, see you in another video.